So hi guys, welcome to another edition of Football Family Feuds. And today is a very special day. It is Steven Gerrard's slip day. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Also in this video, I'll be talking about Kai Havertz, the German wonder kid from Bayer Leverkusen, who Chelsea have been linked with. I'll talk about Ziyech and what his agent has to say about him and what he has to say about Frank Lampard. And finally, I'll end with our search for a keeper who's going to give KEPA competition. So, competition for our keeper, KEPA. So, before I get into these videos, guys, you know the drill. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified of all posts and you won't miss a thing from us. Anyway, right, into this first story. First story, as I said, it's Steven Gerrard's slip day. Yes, it was 6 years ago to the day where we played Liverpool with a weakened team. The reason we put out a weakened team is because 2 days later we were facing Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. So Jose Mourinho, the manager at the time, did not want to risk any injuries to any of our players. So we had like Demba Ba, who was playing for us that day. We had Callas at centre half. And so a few other peripheral players were playing that day. Liverpool had to win because they were ahead in the Premier League. They're ahead of Manchester City. And had they won that game, they would have probably gone on to win their first title in 20 odd years. But what followed was something totally different. So, and of all people, it had to be their captain, Steven Gerrard, because with the game finally poised 0-0, Chelsea doing a typical Mourinho masterclass by holding Liverpool and preventing them from attacking, nullifying all their attacking and hitting them on the break. And so it came from, as I said, Steven Gerrard, their captain, under no pressure at all, got the ball, and yes, he slipped, and it allowed Demba Ba to go in and score the first goal. And then I think was it Willian who tied it up with the second towards the end. And then Liverpool never recovered from that match. They went over to Crystal Palace a couple of days later, 3-0 up, and they threw away a 3-0 lead and drew the game 3-3. So sometimes you're looking at pivotal moments of when a title is lost, and the title was lost that day that Gerrard slipped. And Chelsea fans never make Liverpool fans forget about that and singing the song. You know, everyone knows that Demba Ba song, where Chelsea sing a lot at that Liverpool. I spoke about our pivotal moment a few years earlier, where we had the situation with the Steve Guppy goal, where I think if Steve Guppy hadn't scored that goal, Chelsea would have went on to win the league. And this is the same thing what happened for Liverpool. So thanks again, Steve, for all those funny moments. And we've coined this day Steven Gerrard Day, so never forget. Right, on to our main transfer story. And it is lots of news coming out today that we have forgotten about Coutinho. Coutinho is no more on our wanted list, and instead we're going for a younger version in a guy called Kai Havertz, a German prodigy who plies his trade at Bayer Leverkusen. Kai Havertz is somebody who's sought after by a lot of the top teams because he's been described. A lot of people talk about this generational talent, and it comes along so too often for my liking. And it's just like the term world class. You know, everyone's world class, isn't it? You only have a handful of people who are world class. Likewise, you only have a handful of people who are generational talent. But generational talent, you know, sometimes you hear that a lot on Twitter from people, supporters, etc. But the word came from Hogestein. He's a reputable German reporter, and he's actually labelled him as a generational talent. He's seen him a lot more than I have. So if this guy is calling him a generational talent, then we've got to sit up and take notice when he's talking. And if you look, this guy's only 20 years old and he's already played 110 games for Bayer Leverkusen. He made his debut at the age of 16, so they saw something in him at a very young age. And he scored 30 goals in that period. But he had a breakout season when it comes to goals per game last season, where he scored 17 in 34, which is averaging a goal every other game. Very impressive indeed. So it's precisely what Chelsea are needing. Somebody who can contribute goals from the wide areas or attacking midfield. Because if you look, he can play either as an attacking midfielder or he can play on the wings. So he's got that versatility as well. Great dribble of the ball, good skill. As I said, when you score 17 goals, you've got to be an excellent finisher. So he's an excellent finisher as well. So exactly the sort of profile of player that we need at the club. If you go onto whoscored.com, a couple of weaknesses for a winger. Surprisingly, he's not a great crosser of the ball, and the defensive side of his game needs improving. So he's not very good defensively, not a great tackler. But like with a lot of wingers, you've seen it with our own Callum Hudson-Odoi. Sometimes that defensive side, as a youngster, you haven't got that defensive awareness. But if you've got good coaches or coaches who can teach you that defensive side of the game, then that's good. But as an attacking player, I like my attackers to be able to attack first, defend afterwards. So he'll be learning. As I said, as a 20-year-old, he'll get that side of his game improved as time goes on. And at 20, he's somebody who you can get and buy and keep for a while. And even if he wants to go somewhere else later, you still can recoup a lot of money, because that's Chelsea's model. That makes more sense than getting somebody like, for instance, a Coutinho, who's like 27, 28. So if you get him on a 3-4 year contract, he's 30 at the end, and you have not a lot of resale value on that one. So Chelsea fans are really excited about him, because who wouldn't? He's a exceptional talent, talked after talent. But when you've got an exceptional talent, the thing is, you're not going to be the only team after him. There's going to be other clubs after him as well. So you've got the likes of Liverpool who've looked at him, Manchester United are interested in him, Manchester City no doubt, Bayern Munich. And from what I'm hearing from the reports, they're saying that he wants to stay in Germany and Bayern Munich will be his preferred destination. So a lot of German players don't really like to move on, just similar to the Italian players, so early in their career. So they'll like to stay in Germany for a while. And a lot of the great talents in Germany see the next step as Bayern Munich. That's why Bayern Munich dominate the league like they do, because what they do, they just cream off all the best German talent to play for them. And he's similar in style to Thomas Müller. And Thomas Müller, he's 31 now. So they see him as a natural replacement for Müller in their team. So if they go hard for him, then I'm afraid it looks like that will be his preferred destination rather than the move to Chelsea. But you never know. If we give him a good project and he buys into the project and he fancies a move to a different league, then possibly. But what we do know is that we've been watching him for some time. We are actively in the market for him. We're looking at him, but there are other variables in play. And one of the biggest obstacles in our way, as I said, is going to be the fact that Bayern Munich are interested in him. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Havertz, have you seen a lot of him? Would you like to see him, or would you like to see us go for a bit more experience in Coutinho? Because when you think about it, we've got quite a few young players in that position. A bit of more added experience into that area can probably give us a better balance. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Moving on to the next story, talking about somebody who's coming with a bit of experience, is Ziyech. He's 26, 27 years old. So he's coming into the club. He says, Chelsea has a coach who loves attacking and attractive football. We had some good talks. Lampard is really calm and presented himself well. We immediately felt a connection, which also convinced me to make this decision. Chelsea is a very nice club. So that comes from Ziyech himself. So that goes to show, guys, that a lot of people who are saying, is Frank Lampard the right guy for this club, etc., etc., he's got pulling power. People saw how Frank played as a player, so people would like to play for him. And his idea of football, if his idea of football is in tune with the player that he wants to get, then yes, so he's got the pulling power, he's got the similar ideas, we're going to get these players. So Ziyech is a massive coup for Chelsea, and the name Frank Lampard can pull in a few more players for us. And what his agent actually said about him is that he's a leader, and Chelsea has seen leadership qualities in this player, and that's one of the things that attracted them to him. And that's what we need. We need more leaders because our side is lacking in that leadership quality. So if he can come in, not only bring with him his skill, his goal scoring ability, etc., if he can bring some leadership to the changing room as well, then that will be very welcome within the setup, because the more leaders we have in the side, the merrier. I remember back in the days where we had a team full of leaders, when we had the likes of Frank Lampard himself, John Terry, Didier Drogba, Petr Cech, Ballack, Michael Essien, all leaders. So that, as well as ability, is what brings you to the top, because you could have everyone could have bags of ability, but if you show a lack of leadership, if you start to hide when things are going wrong, then you're going to suffer. And we've seen that a few times with Chelsea. We've seen it earlier this season where games have been going well for us, and yeah, fine. So as soon as the other team gets back in, we crumble. So if we can get somebody in there and saying, guys, look, they've just scored a goal, but let's come on, heads up, chin up, let's get back into this game. Yeah, that's what we need. So more of those, please, more leaders in the side as well. Let me know what you think about Ziyech. Are you excited with him coming to us soon? And are you happy to hear these comments that he's going to be bringing with him leadership qualities to the club? So comment below. And the final story is about our goalkeeper search, because what I'm hearing now is that we're not looking for a goalkeeper to replace KEPA. We're looking for a goalkeeper who's going to be competing with KEPA. So some of the goalkeepers we looked at is Pope from Burnley. We've looked at the guy from Watford, Ben Foster. He's coming to the end of his contract, and we're looking at Onana, another Ajax player. So apparently one of the things that Onana has said is that he's not scared of competition, so he won't mind coming to a club to compete with somebody. That's what I like to hear as well. So it's only a good thing if we've got two goalkeepers competing for one position, and none of them are the out and out favourites. So if Frank says to them, look, whoever is performing the best keeps the shirt, then all that can do is push their levels that further. I think the problem with Kepa is that he knew before that no matter what sort of performance he had, he's still going to be having that shirt. There's no real competition. It's only when Caballero came into the side, they thought, hold on a minute, and Frank's serious here, so I need to up my game. And you saw when he came back into the side, what a difference that made, knowing that he wasn't guaranteed his first team spot in the team. So I welcome that competition if that is the case. Ben Foster may be a good one because he's quite old, but he's still good enough. He's had two excellent performances, an excellent performance I think against when we played Watford. He was outstanding in that game, and I've seen him have some other good performances too. So he'll be a good backup, or somebody I said you can come into the side and compete with Kepa. Let me know. Onana would be my choice, but would you like Onana? Would you like Pope? Would you like Ben Foster? Comment below. So that's it, guys. That's the wrap up for today. Don't forget, I'm going to try and do a Q&A session. I'm still waiting for more questions before I do that video. I've got about 5 or 6 questions coming. I want at least 10 to 15 questions to make that video worthwhile. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me, put it in the comment section below. Go to Football Family Feud, search that in Twitter as well. You can ask a question in there. I can stick my email address in there as well if you want to email me something, but let us know and we'll try and answer all the questions you have. It doesn't have to be football related, I said it could be anything about us, me, the boys on the channel, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So guys, as I keep saying, remember to keep safe, wash those hands, social distance, keep that blue flag flying high, and until the next video,